Time to focus on the Michigan Wolverines, an NCAA tournament team last year. 6 straight for them. 20 wins again last year. 11 of the 12 Kim Barnes-Arico years have been 20-win seasons. Great defense, and they won in a different way last year than they have. Not necessarily the dominant post player that we've seen for so many years. You see some of the people they are bringing in, including 2 5-star McDonald's All-Americans. It is an exciting time for basketball in Ann Arbor, and we're glad to bring in Kim Barnes-Arico and her 13th head coach, the winningest head coach in program history, alongside Jordan Hobbs and Greta Kampschroeder, a couple of seniors. Let me get the bad out of the way first, right? Last year, again, made the NCAA tournament, but it was kind of dicey, right? I mean, you were basically a bubble team, according to some people. What is February like when every game feels like we have to win, and the selection show you're not 100% sure you're going to be in? What was that month like for you guys?
It was stressful, but I think our players compete and they had confidence, and we wound up getting a pretty good seed. So I think we thought we were on the bubble, but I think our league got the respect that it deserved last year, and that was really kind of nice to see. I think it was definitely a shift in the public eye of how good our league really is, and now with the additional teams coming in, how good our league is moving forward, and how many teams can really be selected to the tournament from our league.
Mm-hmm. What was it like for you two?
It was a pretty stressful time, I would say. Every single game in the Big Ten is so important, and we know that. And once it hits February, you're thinking about March Madness, and every single practice, every single game, your aspirations are to get selected on that selection Sunday or get the at-large bid. And so we were just, that was on our mind all the time. And it was definitely stressful, but we pulled through and showed up in the Big Ten tournament and really came together in the end and just built our chemistry throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, every practice, every game mattered during that month. Obviously, every practice and game matters leading up to that, but especially during the month of February and leading into March. Going back to some of the Big Ten games, I mean, it was really exciting to pull those through, but even then we weren't 100% sure, so I think it made it that much more special. We were all at Coach's house on Selection Sunday, and I remember, Coach's face. She was so excited, and I think we were all really excited for her and for one another, so it was a really cool moment.
So that brings us coming up to this year. It was an interesting offseason. You brought in some really interesting players, some unbelievable talent in the freshmen. You lost a few transfers. How do you describe what the offseason was like in general for you?
Every time you ask a question, I look at Jordan because we spent a lot of time, the quad squad, we called them. That was our 4
The quad squad?
Our 4 returning players, 2 of which are here today. But we spent a lot of time in the off season talking about our culture, talking about our chemistry, talking about what it means to be a Michigan Wolverine. And we feel like this season we have a great group of players that really are 100% on board. They're really focused. We have 5 freshmen in our star-studded freshman class who have just embraced practice, have embraced the leadership of these 2 guys to my left, and are just doing an awesome job. But we have 3 transfers, too, that have really bought into our vision and what it means to be the hardest working team in America, and what it means to get on the floor and to take charges and to rebound and to have that toughness. So the off-season was something that I've never experienced before. I think our game is really changing and really evolving, and whether that is the transfer portal or NIL, but it's a new space, it's a new landscape that we're all adjusting to. But I think it gave us an opportunity as a program to really grow and get closer and more connected than ever.
Yeah. Let me ask you two about these freshmen. Let me go one by one. Just tell me your impressions so far. Silas Swords, what have you seen?
She's just ready to go. I mean, she obviously was at the Olympics this year, and the first time she stepped on the court with us this fall, you could just tell that she is such an experienced player, a veteran in the game at such a young age. I mean, she's talking more than I talk sometimes. She's already a leader, and it's so cool to see, and it helps us so much, Greta and I. But she's been remarkable so far, and we just can't wait to see what she brings to the court when season comes.
Yeah, just to pinpoint what Jordan said about her being a leader, I mean, to have that knowledge of the game and that confidence and that maturity at such a young age is so important. And not only is it important for, the freshman class because she can really carry them a long way, but it's good for us too. I mean, I take advice from Sila at times because she's seeing things that other people aren't seeing on the court. So she's been, an awesome addition to the team.
Now Olivia Olson.
Also a stud. She came in first open gym. I was like, wow, the vision she has is what juniors have. Like, the game is already slow for her. She makes passes that you wouldn't see in typical freshmen, and makes some unreal shots in the paint. Also on the three-point line, she's just a very well-rounded player. Also going to be a great leader at Michigan for years to come.
Yeah, just a huge competitor. Coach talks about it all the time. I mean, she's hustling everywhere. You can tell. I mean, she's naturally gifted, but you can tell she wants to be better. She's really bought into, our culture and how tough and how hard we work at the University of Michigan, and I think that's my favorite thing about her.
I don't know if you remember this, but last year I asked you to give me a player you think that was going to step up their importance on the team. You said Jordan Hobbs.
I did.
You said watch out for her.
Thank you.
What did you see then, and how much did that come true this past year?
I knew it before last season. Jordan is just an incredible worker, but she's also very talented, and she shines in practice. You can see the things she can do. Sometimes she does things in practice. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did she just actually really do that for her size? I mean, we have it on the screen right now. She's putting on a show, but she's a special player, but she's an incredibly hard worker. Sometimes she's her own toughest critic, and I think that was her area last year where she just needed to grow. She needs to be okay. I talk to her about it all the time. You need to be okay, Jordan. You are a great player. Go out there with confidence and play to the best of your ability. And she had a breakout year for us last year, but I was not surprised at all. She works incredibly hard, and she deserves it.
What did you think changed about you last year?
I think just confidence was the biggest thing, and kind of the ability to play a little bit more free. Freshman, sophomore year, you're not number 1 or 2 on the shot chart. You're getting 5th, 6th amount of shots, and last year coach just really trusted me with the ball in my hands, whether it was passes I was making or the shots that I was taking, and I just knew that I kind of had that freedom to create for me and for the team, and I think that was probably the biggest thing, just confidence, and my teammates also pouring into me and encouraging me to shoot the ball and just keep going, yeah.
I also remember when Greta first came to the program, how excited you were. How has she grown from when she first got to the program to where she is now?
Well, I think her leadership is one area for sure. I think the other thing is she's become a playmaker. She is an exceptional shooter. I challenge her more every single day. This young lady shoots 75. We chart our shots in practice. She shoots 75% from 3. But she's always thinking about how can I make the right play and how can I make the best play for somebody else. And the wheels are always turning to be a great teammate. I'm always challenging her to shoot it more. I'm like, Greta, please, every time you touch it, shoot it. She's like, coach. But she just shoots it at a clip like that. But I think, and I may have said this to Greta's parents one of their first trips on campus, like, your daughter is an exceptional person. And I think at Michigan in our program, we just really want great people. And the minute that Greta came into our program, it was just like a breath of fresh air. Like, she is just an incredible person, and she sacrifices and puts everyone else first, and then she thinks about herself. And there are very few people that are like that. So she has been just such a wonderful person in our program. She says to me every day for the last couple of years, Coach, I'll do whatever you need. Wherever you need me, whatever you need me to do, Coach, I will do. So just tell me, what that is, and I'm there.
Okay, but what that is shoot.
I know.
Is stop being selfless and start shooting the rock. Let's go, Greta.
I know. No, we're working on it for sure. I mean, I got to be able to get it off with somebody in front of me when I'm by myself, all that. But she reminds me every single day, and we're working on it. So.
That's an awesome feeling.
It
to have
is.
your coach mad at you for not shooting
great.
enough.
No, it's awesome because it's not like that everywhere. So it's nice to have that confidence from my coach because it rubs off on me, which is probably more important that I have that confidence in myself. So it's great having her in my ear every day, kind of pushing me to challenge myself in that area.
Last thing for you three. I had one of your games at the very end. It might have been the last game of the season. And I remember at the shoot around, you all got in a circle and one person talked about somebody else on the team. And it was genuinely powerful. Just sitting on the sidelines, seeing the emotion and the bond that you guys had, and you don't feel that all the time. And maybe I just got lucky that I happened to be at a shoot-around where you guys had it, but it felt like there was something special in the programs. I'm curious, what is it like to be a member on this team?
You know, I think we work really, really, really hard, and you know, as you go, you know, through your time at Michigan, you start to realize, you know, like, I'm working hard for the person next to me rather than just for yourself. You know, it's a team sport, and, you know, you go through the ups and downs of being, you know, a college athlete, a college basketball player. And I think those are the things that tie you close together. And I think Michigan, you know, as hard as we work, as intense of a program as we are, like in the end, we are truly a family. And these girls are, you know, going to be my bridesmaids at my wedding someday. So we really are a family. And so I think that's kind of, you know, what you saw. So when I'm assuming you're probably talking about our senior night when our coaches were talking about some of our seniors, but you know, that bond between one another, but also that bond with our staff is, you know, it's special, it's unique. So
yeah, I mean, we definitely are a family. We spend so much time around each other, and you know, hangouts outside of basketball even, and doing things off the court, and we know when we step in between those lines that we're going to compete, and we're not going to take it personally, but we're going to go at each other every single day, because that's how you're going to get better. But once we step out of those lines, you know, we're back to being a family, and we love one another so much, and that's kind of the culture that Michigan has been built on for years, and we've learned it from our leaders before us, and continue to try to bring that to the team today.
By the way, did Greta just drop news she's getting married?
No,
And then Jordan's going to be a bridesmaid? I mean, I'm pretty sure that was breaking news.
no, Jordan.
ring?
No, no. Jordan will be a bridesmaid, but
Jacob,
yeah,
do
no.
we have the breaking news graphic right now in Chicago? No? Okay, no, not so much. Kim, Jordan, Greta, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.